Hi guys, today is the 17th of June 2019 at 29 minutes past 1 in the afternoon over here in the UK. Iran says it will break the uranium stockpile limit agreed under the nuclear deal in just 10 days' time. That brings us to the June. I have a watch on the 27th of July, so I'm not sure if the 27th should be,
Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have been
excuse me, should be attributed to this month, but as you can see there, 10 days' time brings us to the 27th. Iran says it's going to surpass the 3.67, I think it is, percentage that they're currently allowed. They're going to take that up to around 20%. They can do that in just 10 days' time. During a news conference at Arak Heavy Water Reactor Facility, they said that Iran had increased low enriched uranium production fourfold and would increase the limit of 300 kilograms by June 27th. In the latest bloated nuclear deal agreed between Tehran and world powers in 2015, if Iran feels that the sanctions have been reinstated or not lifted, Iran has the right to partly or on the whole suspend its commitments. So obviously, keeping an eye out on that. Whatever reaction is going to come from the Trump administration and from Israel, maybe some U.S. partners like United Kingdom, France, possibly Germany as well. Obviously, the European signatories to the Iran nuclear deal are still saying they support it. China and Russia are still saying they support it, but with the additional sanctions, the removal of the waivers on the countries that were still allowed to buy oil from Iran, it's put a lot of pressure on the Iranian economy. Therefore, Iran has begun selling its oil to Syria again, and obviously is looking to increase its uranium enrichment in just 10 days' time. So keep an eye out for that. China's President Xi is going to visit North Korea this week. So that's also very interesting. Both events seem to have a connection with the IPEC Go 2 video. Obviously, with the Iran nuclear deal, looking out for the Strait of Hormuz being blocked and the oil slowing down and war with Iran ensuing. And in relation to China, it's the Chinese tanks and they're moving forward with North Korea moving into South Korea, Taiwan interpretation in there as well. So China's President Xi Jinping will go to North Korea on Thursday for 2 days, and this will be the first Chinese leader to visit the reclusive country in 14 years. So a very, very significant visit. Um, Normally I would say that North Korea wouldn't do any provocations while the Chinese president is in the country, but considering there are Chinese, we got the trade war with the Chinese, the sanctions and the tariffs, the problems with Huawei. It may be that Xi Jinping would like to see a missile launch while he's in the country. Obviously, with the Chinese president there, it's going to be much more significant if a launch does happen. We'll just have to wait and see. Um, so yeah, I'll try and remember to link the reports in the video description. Last two, India is retaliating with tariffs on the US, slapping some tariffs on US goods. So again, it leans into the plunging of the stock market when you've got all these tariffs flying around, and obviously um, things are things are on kind of a counterbalance at the moment. So the situations with Huawei, the situations in Venezuela, the situations in Iran, the trade wars with China, the sanctions that you've got on Russia and Europe as well with the aluminum and steel problems with Mexico and Canada have we've been told they've been resolved, but the deal hasn't been ratified yet. So that is still up in the air. So a lot of situations revolving around finance and money are up in the air at the moment. And obviously, if those things come down, the stock market will follow along with it. So that's something to keep our eyes on as well. Um, let's see how these Indian tariffs affect the stock market. Obviously, this is just news that is coming out today, so the stock market isn't open just yet. Um, so we'll see in a couple of hours what kind of effect that has. And obviously, the last thing is just going back to Russia. So Iran, China, North Korea, India, and now Russia. Obviously, I reported yesterday that the US is escalating its online attacks on the Russian power grid, and Trump is calling I'm not sure if he's calling the report about it treason or if he's calling the act of hacking Russia's power grid treason. It's not very clear, especially since Donald Trump seems to have quite an affinity for Russia and Putin in particular. But either way, something to keep our eyes on as well, especially since the reports that came out early last year were Russia and China have backdoors into things like the US power grid, municipalities like water, gas, so critical infrastructure. Not sure what's been done to combat it, but all these things are on the table, they're on the cards. A couple of things we've interpreted from iPad Go 2 video that we're watching out for, and these reports just move it that step closer to the events that we are watching for. So June 25th, watch date, but also now have June 27th because of this news about Iran enriching their uranium in just 10 days' time. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.